Morning, everybody. Oh, look, we have a box. I don't know what's in said box, but we better go through it. No, really what it is it's the QA1 front coilover kit that we've been sitting on, unfortunately, for almost 6 months. But it is going to be going on said Crown Vic over here so that we can get her to the height that we like, and maybe even see an improvement in ride quality. So let's go through this box, see what's in there. This kit is produced by Naake Suspension, Naake Suspension, out of California. I did happen to call QA1, I think it was early last year sometime, and I had talked to them about if I could buy their coilover shock assembly from them directly, and they're like, nope, Crown Vic setup is through Naake only. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. Things really are a thing of beauty. QA1 seems to have advanced their parts supply quite a bit. My past experiences with QA1 were mostly drag racing, and I've used some of their stuff before in drag racing, but that's a real nice looking shock. We went for the single adjustables. I'm not really going for, setting this thing up for doing any crazy autocross or anything like that. This is probably going to turn into a set it and forget it kind of deal. But yeah, I'll have to figure out how this merges with the strut top, and so we'll reuse the strut top from the Crown Vic. This is a Naake spec spring. It is a QA1 part. Actually says it's made in the USA. So that'll go like that, and then we use the strut top from the Crown Vic, like I said. This is the 450-pound spring. The other one, must anti-seize the coilover threads, otherwise you may end up with a seized adjuster. Even though we'll probably dial this thing into a height that we like on the car, we'll still anti-seize these threads in case we do ever have to take it apart again in the future. Spring. I don't think there's anything else in it. Like I've said in my other videos, anytime you order custom parts like this, try and go through all the packing material, because I have thrown perfectly good parts away on accident. People keep asking me, where's the Corvette? Where's the Corvette? The Corvette's still here. Quick little sidetrack. I still need to get the cover off, get the inlet fitting redone, and the brick reinforced from Olson. Hopefully I'll get that sent out next week. But here's the kit kind of laid out on the ground. I will Valving recommendations. Front shock valving. Nice ride and handling is 0 to 6 clicks. We will probably start out at 5 and go from there. So this instruction, obviously this is from QA1 and not Naake. Doesn't really talk about how to put that strut top on, but we'll figure it out. So we got to get the car turned around up on jack stands and get the front wheels off. I'm not going to show step by step on how to get the struts out of the car because we already have a video for that, and there are many other YouTube videos on how to get the struts out. Once you've done it once or twice and you learn what to take apart and not take apart so you don't over disassemble, you can actually get the struts out pretty quick.
Trust it.
Sorry for the chainsaw noise. Neighbors are getting a tree cut down.
And airplanes.
Well, I think we're trading airplanes for...
No, there's gonna be bugs.
We're trading chainsaws for airplanes at the moment. Anyways, we're into the meat and potatoes of this job. Got the other strut out. Got it dismantled. And there's no instructions, at least that I could find in the box or on Naake's website, that shows how this goes together. So I'm utilizing my best mechanical thought processes to put this together. I was just looking online to see if I could find some pictures on Google Images, and there is a couple of different ways that I've seen these put together. It looks like some people are trying to reuse this piece, and I don't know why you would do that, because the Naake spring is a flat end, so you can see the spring is standing up, straight up and down, which tells me that this spring should just go on that strut top. Unlike this, it's got a pigtail, which it won't even stand up. So that's where this piece would come in. So I think we're going to put this together without this piece. I also noticed that there's no bump stop, and people are putting them together online with no bump stop. So I can only assume that maybe there's an internal bump stop to that strut, but I don't think there is. If it causes any problems in the future, we'll advise. But so let's get this put together and we'll take a quick video of it in one piece. So what we're thinking, now granted this collar's all the way down, doesn't need to be. I didn't buy the Torrington bearing kit for the spring adjuster because I don't plan on raising this car up and down on a weekly basis. This is a factory Ford washer. We're going to put him on there. Then we got our factory top and bushing, which is still in good shape. So that part of the bushing is going to seat on this washer. Right like that. Like that. Factory Ford washer. Not sure if you saw that. And then it's two smaller nuts. One of them is a jam nut. These are not locking. Then you would put this nut, after you've torqued this one, you'd put this one down and jam it on there. Tighten the two together so that it's locked together. But you can see flat top on the spring, flat top on that. And it should be okay. That's what we're going to do. We're going to get this anti-seized, get the tension taken out of it, and put it back in the car. It only takes a few minutes before we have a tool salad all over the garage floor. But this is basically what we came up with. So you can see, or maybe you can't see, the spring fits completely flat up against the factory strut top. Now where we've got this adjusted, I'm guessing this is what it took to get all the slack out of the spring. And I'm thinking if we ran it in that position, this thing would probably be ready for some all-terrain 33-inch tall tires. So we'll probably have to adjust that back down quite a bit. We got this, the upper nut torqued and the jam nut torqued. We reused all the Ford washers on the Ford bushing. And we're ready to set it in there. We're going to set it up with the damper adjuster facing to the rear of the car. I think it'll be the most wide open to adjust. Got it on position 5 right now. So back in the car it goes. Okay, welcome to our tool salad. This is where we're at. We've got it set back up in place. It is not adjusted yet. Got the upper ball joint nut torqued back up. I gotta go find all the torque specs for this bolt, the lower bolt, the top bolts, or nuts I should say, and we'll get ready to put this together. And then we're gonna do a preliminary adjustment. The way that I set up the preliminary adjustment on the coilover is we're going to leave the floor jack right here where it's at, although we'll probably turn it towards the front of the car. And then we will put the wheel on with just a couple lug nuts, and then we're going to jack the suspension up until it's just light on the jack stands. And that'll give us a rough adjustment so that we're close before we set it on the ground. Because you don't want to have to fight this adjuster up and down to make big radical changes like if you're way off. And also a few of you may have noticed when I was in the garage saying that, oh, we're going to point the adjuster one direction or the other, and the reality of it is that it has to go outboards. It can't go backwards, forwards, or inboards, or inboard. So we're close. I'll get some video when we're setting the initial ride height up. Weak sauce. So we got the right side done in a fraction of the time as the driver's side. Everything's torqued up. Put the wheel back on, put it on the ground, and then we'll chase heights. All right, so attempt number 1 at trying to guesstimate the ride height. Epic fail. It looks badass if you're into that kind of look. So yeah, gotta jack it back up and start cranking the adjusters up on the front coilovers, because that'll never work. With the Crown Vic a little bit more this morning after monkeying with it most of the day yesterday. And what we were fighting with a little bit yesterday was when you would turn the car at slow speeds and go over any bumps, you kind of felt this vibration and a little bit of noise. You could even feel it in the seat of your pants. So I figured it has to be because I didn't run the isolators, even though the coil spring's sitting flat on the upper spring mount. I think it's letting some additional noise into the car. I already took the other side apart, the driver's side, this morning and put these back in there. And I did find a couple more pictures online of the QA1 kit from Naake that it clearly shows these installed, although this piece, the plastic piece, and all those pictures is white, so I don't know what that's all about. But anyways, I'm going to take this side back part, put these guys in, and see if we can get that noise kind of calm down a little bit. I will say that since this is more of a racing inspired shock design, it has a spherical bearing at the lower mount instead of a rubber bushing. Obviously you get race car noises anytime you get rid of rubber bushings. So other than that, man, I drove it around a bit last night, kind of played with the shock settings. It's really nice. I don't think it's going to be a problem long term. I think we'll get this all sorted out, and just about got the ride height dialed in, and hopefully we'll have a lot of trouble-free miles out of it. These coilovers, if I remember right, have 1 year warranty from QA1 and then an additional 1 year warranty from Naake themselves. So, and plus they're rebuildable. If you ever did have a leak in the shock seal, you can send it in and they can rebuild the thing and send it back to you for a lot cheaper than what it would cost to replace it. But anyways, let me get this other isolator put in there, and then we'll go for a little drive. Alright, Stance Nation, that's where we wound up. Got the isolators put back in. All the funny noises, damn, that thing's loud. All the funny noises seem to be gone now. Let's go jump some speed bumps. Poop.
There's some shaking right there.
Setting 8 a little bit. It'll be interesting to see what the speed bumps say. Yesterday with it on 6 in the front was super soft and then the back was rougher. Oh, anybody want a sweet couch? Love seat. Give everybody kind of a good what it sounds like, exhaust noise in the back of the car. hear anything.
Fast or slow?
Slow this one. About that fast.
Well, that's good.
That's pretty balanced. Yesterday the front was kind of mushy. Back was what it is now. Go a little bit faster. About that fast.
Still feel like the back might be a bit stiffer. Squish.
Yeah, just a little bit. I think we'll leave that and see what it does long term. That's the beauty of adjustable suspension. We can do whatever we want to with it. Oh, brother.
A dually fan thing?
Sprinter.
Who's a dually though?
Yeah, you go after that.
Sweet time.
Follow this poser Jeep.
Super swampers.
That might be one of the most used wheeling Jeeps that I've seen in this town in a long time. That's not on a trailer. So unlike Panther Platform's videos where he goes out and drives around for hours at a time and never has to slow down for nothing, yeah, that doesn't work that way here. The only time you get no traffic is at maybe at 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's 240.
That Jeep needs to be LS swapped. Yeah, actually, we could. Well, it might be gated up, but if it's not, let's go through the big speed bumps. This is a school that Isaac used to go to. It's got big old speed bumps. That felt good. Did you feel any more weirdness?
Not after we left.
That seems the way it's been. When you jack it up, it does weird things, and after it settles out, everything seems to be happy.
Everything
faster. A little stiffer out back,
Yeah.
but it's totally manageable. So we got 450-pound QA1 springs in the front and 175-pound Viking coilover springs in the rear.
Faster.
I think we're gonna like the QA1 setup. I'm gonna go chop the hell out of this video and try and make it worth a crap, and see if I can show the finer points of the installation and the mistakes that were made, and maybe made, maybe not made, and y'all can formulate your own opinion if you want to try the suspension or not. So far, I recommend it. We'll get some more miles put on it in the next month or so. Isaac's got to go back to school finally after a year for a whopping like 1 day a week. 2 days a week. And if you have any questions on putting this, if you have any questions on putting the QA1 Naake front suspension on a 2003 and newer Crown Vic, you know where to put them.